The seed enhancement technology includes seed coating, priming, hardening, and seed pelleting technologies. They are popularly referred to as seed enhancement technologies since they offer the advantage of improved seed handling besides offering seed protection. Seed coating techniques are improvement over traditional seed treatment such as slurry treatment and dry seed dressing, which were predominantly used for seed protection from insects and fungi. Seed coating. The seed coating technology is a sophisticated process of applying precise amount of active ingredients dispersed in a liquid polymer directly onto the seed surface without obscuring its shape. Seeds are coated by active ingredients along with the film coating polymer formulations by using automatic or semi-automatic seed coating machines. The required dose of polymer is mixed with required quantity of water, insecticide and fungicides and fed into the rotating drum containing seeds. The polymer dose varies with the crop seeds. Smaller seeds require higher dosage since their surface area is higher compared to larger seeds. Types of film coating. Hydrophilic coating. Use of starch-based polymers and magnesium carbonate as seed coating is capable of improving the movement of air and water into the seeds. The increase in imbibition may be due to fine particles in the seed coating act as a wick or moisture attracting material or perhaps to improve the seed soil contact. It is suitable for sowing in dry soils. Hydrophobic coating. The coating a hydrophobic polymer can reduce the rate of water uptake, lower solute leakage and improve the emergence of seeds, and it is suitable for sowing in wet soils. Film coating formulations. It consists of a mixture of polymer, plasticizer and colorant. This formulation are commercially available as ready to use liquids or as dry powders. Here the active ingredients are insecticide, fungicides and micronutrients. The advantage of seed coating. It enables the application of accurate and even dose of chemicals and reduces the chemical wastage. It prevents the dust of loss of chemical and release of chemical into storage environment as dust or vapor. It makes room for including all the required ingredients, protectants, nutrients, hydrophilic substances, herbicides and oxygen suppliers. By encasing the seed within a thin film of biodegradable polymer, the adherence of the chemicals to the seed is improved. It ensures dust-free handling, thereby making treated seeds both user and environment friendly. Seed priming. The term priming of seed was coined by Molnesi 1971 and reported by Heidecker during 1974. The seed priming is a process used to improve the field performance of the seeds. Seed priming is a pre-sowing seed treatment that involves the controlled hydration of seeds sufficient to allow pre-germinative metabolic events to take place but insufficient to allow radical protrusion through the seed coat. After the priming treatment, the seeds can be dried and used for sowing. Upon re-imbibition, the seeds retain the advancement they achieved during the priming treatment and complete the germination much more rapidly and uniformly. In addition, the priming can overcome some types of environmental stresses such as temperature and moisture stresses. Purpose of seed priming. The priming is done to increase the speed and uniformity of germination, particularly under abiotic stress conditions of temperature, moisture and salinity conditions. Principle of seed priming. Seed germination starts with the imbibition of water by dry seed coat. Water absorption has three phases. In phase 1, rapid water absorption takes place independent of the viability status or metabolic activity of the seeds. Phase 2, it shows little water absorption since the seed is saturated. However, there is an increase in enzyme activation, protein synthesis and repair of mitochondria and DNA will take place. Phase 3, it is associated with another rapid water uptake as the radical emergence and elongation occurs. This results in cell elongation without cell division. In this stage, enzymes activated in phase 2 break down the storage materials like fats, protein, carbohydrates and phosphorus containing compounds and transfer them to the growing points. The duration of priming varies with the crop as well as the method of priming such that the priming is allowed for first and second phase of seed imbibition without allowing the radical protrusion. The seed priming involves allowing the seeds to absorb sufficient water to initiate metabolic process but insufficient water to allow completion of germination. After the priming period, the seeds can be dried, stored or marketed. When seeds are imbibed again, the lag period before radical emergence occurs is considerably reduced, improving the rate and uniformity of germination. The different methods of priming. Hydropriming. Soaking the seeds in water and re-drying is termed as hydropriming. The potential danger from usage of osmotic of low and high molecular weight is avoided. For example, soaking the wheat seeds in water prior to sowing. Halopriming. Soaking the seeds in concentrated salt solution with low water potential, for example, KNO3, potassium dihydrogen phosphate and other salts and re-drying. Osmopriming. Here the soaking the seeds in osmotic of low water potential solution, for example, polyethylene glycol and then re-drying. The PEG, that is polyethylene glycol, is a chemically inert high molecular weight, that is 6000 to 8000 Da compound that, unlike the lower molecular weight compound, probably does not penetrate cell walls. Biopriming. Here the soaking the seeds with biological agents like bacteria and also soaking in the warm water. Solid matrix priming. This consists of mixing the seeds with an organic or inorganic carrier and water for a period of time. The moisture content of the matrix is brought to a level just below what is required for radical protrusion. Seed water potential is regulated by the matrix potential of the seed. During priming, the water is largely held by the carrier. The seeds can be imbibe water from the carrier only till the equilibrium is reached. Drum priming. Here the subjecting the seeds to water mist while rotating the seeds in drum without allowing the radical protrusion. Physiological manifestations. The mechanism by which seed priming treatment improves germination performance have been discussed by several workers. Seeds complete phase 1 and phase 2 of germination. Rearrangement of cell membrane structure lost during seed drying and increase in membrane integrity. Repair of damage to nucleic acids and proteins occurred during storage. Higher respiration and adenine triphosphate production. Then increase in hydrolytic enzyme activity, especially alpha amylase, and strong increase of superoxide dismutase and catalase activities. Benefits of priming. It increases the speed and uniformity of seed germination and improves the percentage of seed germination and enables the seedling resistance to the agents of dehydration such as drought and salinity. Precautions made during priming. Appropriate of priming methodology and duration of imbibition should be adopted. Immediate drying back to original moisture content is important to avoid damage to seed quality.
In agriculture, horticulture and forestry, to achieve a desired plant population and a high probability of successful establishment of each seed planted, precision planting is advocated. The most essential phases of precision planting is the singling of seeds for exact placement at a predetermined depth and spacing in the soil with uniform coverage and at reasonable planting speed. Singling is difficult for small seeds which are low in density and irregular in shape. To overcome these difficulties, seed pelleting is advocated. Literally, it is not at all a new invention and is in vogue since long back. What is seed pelleting? Seed pelleting is the process of enclosing a seed with a small quantity of inert material just large enough to produce a globular unit of standard size to facilitate precision planting. The inert material creates natural water holding media and provides small amount of nutrients to young seedlings. Seed pelleting also serves as a mechanism of applying needed materials in such a way that they have an effect on the seed or soil at the seed-soil interface. The main objective of seed pelleting is precision sowing with added advantages of better establishment and increased productivity. Materials needed for seed pelleting. The first material is the seed adhesive. Adhesive includes gum arabic, methyl cellulose, gelatin, casein casemate salts, plastic resins, polyvinyl acetate, methyl ethyl cellulose, polyurethane polyvinyl alcohol, polyelectrolyte or dextran, polyethylene oxide, rice gruel, maida gruel, sago and starch gruel. The selection of adhesive, it is based on the selective purpose. Plastic resins, polyvinyl acetate and insoluble polyelectrolyte complexes are used to bind pesticides to seeds. Polyethylene oxides prevent erosion of surface sown seeds. The filler material. Filler material includes lime, gypsum, dolomite and rock phosphate. Other materials include clay minerals such as montmorillonite and vermiculite. Besides that, blood, peat, poultry manure, milk, charcoal powder, biofertilizers and leaf powders etc. can also be used as filler materials. Characters for filler materials. They should be non-toxic, friendly to both seed, adhesive and environment. They should be easily soluble in water, easily available for commercial production and they should be of low cost. Pelleting material, and this includes insecticides, fungicides, nutrients etc. Characteristics of pelleting material. It should not have any toxicity to the seeds. It must be possible to apply the coating on commercial basis. The coating must be porous to allow the movement of air to the seeds. Precautionary measures have to be followed. Excessive adhesive should not be added as it may lead to clogging of seeds. The adhesives should be with required velocity. The filler materials used should be a fine powder. Then only coating will be perfect and coating also will be retained for longer period. Now let us see how pelleting is to be done. There are three basic steps involved in pelleting and they are stamping, coating and rolling. The seeds are uniformly coated with adhesive in correct quantity initially. Then the filler materials are sprinkled on the coated seeds and are rolled on the filler material for effective and uniform coating. Different types of pelleting. The classification of pelleting is based on the materials used for pelleting. Inoculant pelleting. In this, the filler material used are different biofertilizers like rhizobium, phosphobacteria, azospirillum, azotobacter, VAM, etc. Protective coating. In this, the filler materials used are pesticides, fungicides, biocontrol agents like Rhizobacteria bataticola or Bacillus species or Streptomyces, and antibiotics. Herbicide coating. In this, the filler material used are antidotes and absorbents. The advantages of seed pelleting. The mechanical planting of seeds is facilitated by seed characteristics such as uniform size and shape, sufficient size and weight, which aid in easy mechanical separation and easy flow and prevent clumping together. The seed pelleting has been employed to achieve all these features. Small and irregular shaped seeds can be easily handled by pelleting, which changes the shape of seed. Seed pelleting also aids in precision sowing by increasing the size and weight of seeds and is particularly useful for very small seeds, thus permitting precision planting, which results in uniform seedling emergence and elimination of empty containers in the nursery. Disadvantages in seed pelleting. When the seed is pelleted, its cost and weights are more than bare seeds. If proper pelleting techniques or machinery is not used, there would be missing of seed during pelleting, or sometimes more than one seed may contain in a pellet. More moisture is required to germinate, hence the pellet must be dissolved first. Delayed field emergence at low moisture level is also possible. Precautions to be followed during seed pelleting. Certain technical problems must be monitored during the potential process. The pelleting material must be compatible with the seed so that seed quality is maintained and germination is not hindered. If the pelleting material is too hard after drying, it may be difficult for radical emergence through the pelleted material. Some pellets may form around multiple seeds. In other cases, particularly when the seed lot is not thoroughly cleaned, pellets may form around the inert materials such as sand or undersized plant materials. The size of the pellet can also be an issue to the seed purchasers. The seed analyst also have a great responsibility while conducting the purity test with pelleted seeds. Despite the technical problems, seed pelleting is recognized as an important addition to the precision planting in many agricultural crops. In forestry, seed pelleting is an attractive tool to implement aerial seedling for wasteland afforestation programs. Seed hardening. Normal events do not invite many questions. A shift from normalcy unleashes search for the causes of the complications and methods to overcome the problems. After all, necessity is the mother of invention. Drought is the most common calamity that affects farmers severely. In dryland agriculture, drought resistance of plant is one of the very important factors to get the higher yield. Though this largely depends on the genetic makeup of a variety, pre-sowing treatments like hardening also is practiced to defy the ill effects of drought on emergence and growth of the crop. What is seed hardening? It is the process of hydrating the seed to initiate the pre-germinative metabolism followed by dehydration, which fixes the biochemical events of seeds so as to get the characters that are favorable for drought resistance. It is also the extensive physiological reorganization induced by dehydration process. During hardening process, a number of physicochemical changes occur, modifying the protoplasmic characters and increasing physiological activity of the embryo and associated structures. Eventually, this results in the absorption of more water due to increase in the elasticity of cell wall and development of a stronger and efficient root system. Why seed hardening is done? Seed hardening is done in order to impart resistance against stress conditions like drought and cold to the emerging seedlings. What are the physiological bases of seed hardening? The influence results of the pre-sowing hardening treatment under drought conditions is due to various physiological changes that occur in the seeds on seed treatment. Precautions to be followed for seed hardening. The timing of the initial imbibition period is critical because as germination and growth proceed, the resistance to drying of the embryo decreases. On the other hand, the degree of hardening, that is the effect of treatment included, is claimed to be high when the embryo is in more advanced stage of germination at the time of drying. The optimum duration of hardening should be a compromise between the two conflicting tendencies. The temperature of soaking and drying cycles and the rate of drying are all very important. Principles in seed hardening. During hardening process, a number of physicochemical changes occur and modify the protoplasmic characters and increase the physiological activity of the embryo and associated structures. Eventually, more absorption of water leads to increase in the elasticity of cell and development of a stronger and efficient root system. First, the dry seeds have to be taken, soaked in solution for imbibition. During imbibition, it permits initial process of germination, that is an advancement in germination processes. Then the dehydration of the seeds has to be done. It will prevent the cell and radical emergence. Then the seeds have to be removed from the solution and it has to be dried in shade followed by sun drying to bring back to its original water content and weight. This will stop the germination process. As a result, we can get the hardened seeds. These hardened seeds can be taken up for sowing. After sowing, the seeds will remember the germination process where it had stopped, so that rapid germination and quick establishment of the seed can take place with the available soil moisture content. This will result in increased growth and productivity. The steps in seed hardening. The seeds are soaked in water or dilute solutions of growth regulator or chemical solutions, and the chemicals allowed to absorb moisture up to 30 to 35% of their weight and kept in swollen condition for 1 to 2 hours depending upon the crop species, and the temperature is 25 degrees centigrade. Then the seeds are spread in a thin layer for shade drying for 1 to 2 days. After shade drying, the seeds are sun dried for 1 to 2 days to bring back the seeds to original moisture content and weight. The hardened seeds are used for sowing. The resultant seeds after drying are the hardened seeds, and this treatment is repeated for more times depending upon the kind and variety of crops. This can also be tried by using various concentrations of a number of chemicals. High temperature treatment of seed can also be attempted for inducing resistance to drought. Chemicals which can be used for seed hardening. Water itself is a good hardening material. To increase the efficacy of hardening treatment, several chemicals could also be chosen, but the selectivity of chemicals varies with the crop. The aqueous solution of macro and micronutrients such as sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, potassium nitrate, calcium chloride, ammonium sulfate, potassium chloride of specific concentrations are used. Growth regulators can also be used: gibberellic acid, CCC, kinetin, ascorbic acid, riboflavin, biotin, phosphonic acid, ascorbic acid, succinic acid, etc. Vitamins used for seed hardening: vitamin K3, nicotinic acid, pantothenic acid, adenine, etc. The plant products used for seed hardening: garlic extract, coconut water, leaf extracts of plants like Prosopis, moringa, pungam and neem. The concentration of these chemicals, duration of soaking and seed to solution ratio vary depending upon the crop species. The seed hardening techniques recommended for various crops. Pearl millet, the chemical recommended is 2% potassium chloride. 1 kilogram of seed is soaked in 650 ml of this 2% potassium chloride solution for 10 hours and then dried back to original moisture content. Sorghum. For sorghum seeds, 2% potassium dihydrogen phosphate is recommended. In this, 1 kilogram of seed is soaked in 1000 ml of the potassium dihydrogen phosphate solution for 16 hours and then dried back to original moisture or weight. For cotton, the recommended chemical is 2% potassium chloride. In this, 1 kilogram of seed is soaked in 650 ml of solution for 10 hours and then dried back to original moisture content. For sunflower, the recommended chemical is 2% potassium chloride. For sunflower seed, 1 kilogram of seed is soaked in 650 ml of solution for 12 hours and dried back to original moisture content. Advantages of seed hardening. Seed hardening will accelerate rapid germination and growth rate of seedling. Plants from the hardened seeds recover quickly from wilting when compared to plants from untreated seeds. Flowering is slightly accelerated in treated plants. Hardening induces resistance to drought and salinity. The seeds also withstand high temperature with a range from 80 to 105 degrees centigrade for prolonged periods of 24 to 48 hours without any loss in viability. By emerging early, seedlings will be able to compete more effectively with weeds. Treated plants are generally better in growth and yield. There are certain limitations to be kept in mind during seed hardening. Leguminous seeds are less responsive to wetting and drying, especially when long-term soaking durations are employed and they result in soaking injury. Vigor of seeds at the time of treatment would greatly determine the efficacy of the treatment. Prolonged soaking may show adverse effects because of anaerobic respiration leading to accumulation of toxic metabolites. Drying of seed following hydration should be slow and compatible with the degree of hydration. Often, the embryo enlarges to such an extent that drying is injurious. Often, the chemicals do not give significant additional effects over that obtained with water alone. Students, so far we have learnt various seed quality enhancement techniques like seed coating, seed priming, seed pelleting and seed